This is actually going to be my very last to-do list collection ever. Hey guys, it's Keegan. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video I am so incredibly excited for. I am so excited to introduce you guys to my newest to-do list collection. Introducing, pretend that was a drum roll, okay? That was a really bad drum roll, but pretend it was. Introducing the Pastel collection. I think this might be my favorite collection yet. It looks like the camera is washing these out, so I will definitely have to put in some pictures and videos of these on overlays so you guys can see the full beautifulness of these to-do lists. I think this is my favorite collection I've ever made. I think the backgrounds of these are absolutely beautiful. They're 100% my aesthetic and I love them. This is actually going to be my very last to-do list collection ever. I'm so sad about that. I'll talk to you guys more about that in the very end of this video. But before I do that, I wanted to go through and give you guys all the details, all the information about these to-do lists and how you guys can get your hands on them. The Pastel collection features the daily to-do list, the everything to-do list, the weekly to-do list, and the weekly extended to-do list. Let's break it down product by product to give you guys all the information so you guys can see the details about each of these to-do lists and why I love each and every single one of them. We're gonna start off with the daily to-do list. The daily to-do list is in this beautiful blue background. It reminds me of the sky. I love it so much. Each to-do list only comes in one background, so the daily to-do list only comes in this blue color. The everything to-do list only comes in this green color, and so on and so forth. There are so many things that I love about the daily to-do list. So first of all, there's this little section for the date. You can do month, day, year. You can format it whatever way you want. If you want a day, month, year, but there is this little date section. I love to plan ahead with my to-do list. I like to plan multiple days in advance. The date section really helps me remember what day it is, because sometimes when you're planning multiple days ahead of time, it gets confusing what day is which. So I love that on there. Each of these to-do lists also have little circle check boxes. A standard to-do list that you guys have probably seen have a square checkbox. I did a circle for a couple reasons. Number one, I think that circles are just cuter than squares in general. Just a personal opinion, but I do like the circles. But also after I launched these to-do lists, I saw that so many people use their to-do list in so many different ways, and they like to check off their tasks in different ways. One thing that I really like to do for checking off my to-do list is filling in the circles. I just think it's cute. I think it's fun, but some people like to cross them off. Some people like to exit out. There's so many different ways that people like to check off their tasks. So I wanted to make the circles so people wanted to fill them in. And again, they're just so cute. This is my third to-do list collection. And when I was initially making my very first collection, the number one thing that I wanted to add to a to-do list that I felt like I had never seen before, that I felt like I had always wanted, was adding these time slots. The daily to-do list and the weekly extended to-do list have these time slots where you can put in what time of the day your task is at. There's a little bracket for the hour, the minute, and then AM or PM that you can circle. So each line has a little time slot if you want to write what time it is, but there's still plenty of room to write your task on this line. One of my favorite things about these to-do lists is you can use them in so many different ways, that every single person I've seen that when you guys tag me in your stories uses them in a completely different way, and it makes me so happy that you can customize these, make them fit your life and your schedule the best way possible. The way that I like to use these time slots is if I have an appointment or plans with friends or something at a certain time, I like to write in what time it's at. And if I have a task that doesn't have a certain time, I kind of just skip it and don't fill it in. But I've also seen people using these to time block. Time blocking is when you plan your day by the hour or the 30-minute intervals. But what's really great about this is it's not preset, so you can change it. So if you want to do, I have this going on at 1, I have this going on at 1:20, I have this going on at 2 p.m. You can change these to whatever time works best for you, which I really, really love. I love these are so customizable. The time slots are honestly one of my favorite parts of this to-do list. And then the very bottom, it has this little line that says, "You are who you plan to be." This was actually on my last to-do list launch as well, and I loved it so much. I think it's just a great reminder to have, you are who you plan to be. It was a quote that I heard somewhere. I have no idea where I heard it, but I really kept it with me and I loved it so much. So I wanted to add it to the bottom of this to-do list. Every single one of these to-do lists is on 70-pound paper. And if you have no idea what that is, that's okay. I didn't know what that meant either when I started this whole process. That is essentially the thickness of paper. That's the easiest way that I can describe it. A piece of copy paper is anywhere from 20 to 30-pound paper. Each piece of paper on these to-do lists are 2 to 3 times thicker than a regular sheet of copy paper. I cannot explain to you how well a pen glides over this piece of paper. It is so satisfying. It is like butter. It is in the best way possible. It is so pleasing. I cannot explain it, but this paper is so thick, such good quality. I really love it. I've honestly never seen a to-do list with this thick and as good quality of paper. I totally could be biased, but just from my experience, this is really good quality paper. The daily to-do list has 19 lines on it, and it's 5 by 7 inches. It's like the perfect little small to-do list, but it also has enough lines if you have a lot of stuff going on. Each to-do list comes with 50 pages and then a cardboard back, and it's glued together at the top. This one is $19.99 plus tax and shipping. I love this one so much. Next up, we have the everything to-do list. I am obsessed with this green color. I think this one is my favorite background. I cannot explain to you guys how obsessed I am with this background. I think it is so beautiful. No words. Speechless. Speechless. When I think of a traditional to-do list, this is the type of to-do list that I think of. This is your regular standard to-do list with a few things that make it a little special and also very, very cute. This was designed to bring wherever you want to bring it and use for whatever you want to use use it. If you want to use it as a to-do list, all your tasks for the day, if you want to use it as your grocery list, your packing list, the list of chores that you want to do, brain dump of ideas, a list of reminders. This can literally be used for whatever you want it to be used for. Every single one of these to-do lists can also be used for whatever you want to use them for, but this one specifically is the one that I always like to go to brain dump, to write my random list, my tasks for the day. This one you can use for so many different things. Just like the daily to-do list, this one also has a little date spot up here for you. Other than the size, the biggest difference between the daily and the everything to-do list is the daily has the time slots, the everything to-do list does not. Not everybody likes the time slots. I got a lot of feedback. Some people were absolutely obsessed with the time slots, some people didn't really like them. So I wanted to have two more like daily style to-do lists, one with time slots and one without. So if you guys don't like the time slots, this is the one that I'd recommend getting. This one has 26 lines on it, perfect for whatever you need to fill it out. It also has 50 pages, the cardboard back, the glue at the top. This is 4 inches by 8.25 inches. I think it's like the perfect size traditional to-do list. It's not too big, you can throw it in your purse, but it's also long enough when you have a lot of stuff to write down. And it's the same thick paper that all the other to-do lists have. This is $5.99 plus tax and shipping. Moving on to the weekly to-do list. This is very Speak Now Taylor's version, if you will. Wait, 1989. Taylor Swift. Speak now, lover. Sorry, I had to. You know I had to. You know I had to make anything reference Taylor Swift. It's a must. With my very first launch, when I was making these to-do lists, making a weekly to-do list was so important to me. When I was in college, I never felt like there was a perfect weekly to-do list out there, and I wanted to make one so badly, and I am so glad that I did. I love the purple background of this one. I use my weekly to-do list to plan out my week, obviously, but I've also been using this one as a content planner. So I'm like, oh, if I want to post this content on Monday and then I want to post this TikTok on Tuesday. You can use all these to-do lists in so many different ways. I've seen people get so creative with the way that they use them. The weekly to-do list has Monday through Sunday, and then there's a note section as well. I remember when I was in college and I was trying to find a weekly to-do list, a lot of them only had Monday through Friday, and I was like, what? I have stuff going on the weekends. I want to have boxes for those as well. So I did that, and then I added the note section. You can use the note section for whatever you want. I've used it for so many different things. A lot of the times I'll put stuff in the note section where I have something I need to do throughout the week, but it doesn't matter what day I need to do it. Some days, if I'm really busy on Tuesday and I fill up all the lines, I'll put the overflow in the note section. Sometimes if I need to call my doctors, I'll put their phone number there so I can remember what number to call. I'll even write my grocery list on there, some reminders, so you can use the note section for whatever you want. I love that it's Monday through Sunday plus the note section, so you have every single day covered on this one piece of paper. I live by my weekly to-do list. My life revolves around my weekly to-do list. This is my North Star. I don't think I'd be able to function without my weekly to-do list. I know that sounds really dramatic. You have to understand, I made an entire business about to-do lists because I'm that obsessed with them. It helps me plan out my week. I know exactly what day I need to do everything. When I was in college, I never once missed an assignment because I was always planning ahead with my weekly to-do list. And now that I've graduated college, that's transferred over to meetings, phone calls, deadlines that I have with companies. My weekly to-do list is everything to me. I sell 2 weekly to-do lists, the weekly and then the weekly extended. The biggest difference other than the size is the weekly to-do list does not have the time slots. Like I said, some people like the time slots, some people don't. So I wanted to have one with the time slots and one without. So if you guys don't like the time slots, this is the one that I would recommend. I really love the smaller one because it's a great way to plan out my week, but it's still small, it's still compact. I think it's like the perfect size if you don't want a super big to-do list. Same thick pages. On the weekly to-do list, each day has 8 lines, which I think is perfect. On the weekly to-do list, each day has a little date section as well. I think it's really helpful, especially when you're planning out your week, to be able to write what day it is on there, because sometimes I get really confused. I'm like, wait, what day is the 7th? Is that Monday? Is it Tuesday? So having it on there is really nice. Each day has 8 lines for 8 different tasks, and of course they're all little circle check boxes, check circles, should we call it that? This is 6.5 by 9. I think this is the perfect size where it's not too big. 50 pages, just like the rest of the to-do list. Glue at the top, cardboard back. This is $14.99 plus tax and shipping. Last but not least, we have our weekly extended to-do list. This one is actually my favorite. This is the one that I use the most. If you guys watch my vlogs, you guys always see me using the weekly extended to-do list. This is the one that I always reach for because I feel like I'm a pretty busy person. I have a bunch of stuff going on, and this one is like a master to-do list. This is actually the size of a sheet of copy paper. It's 8.5 by 11. I think this is perfect. This to me is the perfect to-do list because it fits everything and more. First of all, the background, I love the pink. I kind of wanted to do a more simple background for the weekly extended to-do list because this one gets so busy. The amount of stuff that I write down, I didn't want it to be a super overwhelming background, so I kind of wanted to do one that was still super cute, but it wasn't in your face. This background also kind of reminds me of the Sunset collection a little bit. If you guys have been following me for long enough, my very first collection was called the Sunset collection, and I actually did a Sunset collection to-do list of the daily, the weekly, and the everything, and the only one that I didn't do a Sunset collection for was the weekly extended. So I was really happy that I made a pink one because it kind of reminded me of that, especially since this will be my my very last collection ever. I love the callback to my first collection. I view this weekly to-do list kind of more as a weekly planner. I call it my master to-do list. There's more lines on this one. It's perfect for super busy people. If you have a lot going on, this is the one that I would recommend. Just like the daily one, this one has time slots, which I really like. So there's a little bracket for your hour, your minute, and then AM and PM, but there's still plenty of room on the line so you can write down your task. That's one reason why I like that it's so big. It doesn't feel crowded at all. We also have the day prompt on each day, just like the weekly to-do list, and it's Monday through Sunday plus the note section. Each day has 10 lines, and like I said, it's the size of a sheet of copy paper, so it's 8.5 by 11. What's really great about this is it's big, but it's not too big. It will still fit in your backpack or your work bag. I've never had an issue with it being too big. I think it's a perfect size for when you're super busy. Just like the other ones, same thick paper, cardboard back, glue at the top, 50 pages. This is $19.99 plus tax and shipping. The reason for the price is obviously because it's so big. I use all of these to-do lists together. Actually, I'll plan out my week using the weekly extended to-do list. I'll use the weekly to-do list as a content planner for TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. I'll use the everything to-do list for my grocery list, for my packing list. I'll use the daily to-do list. If I have a super busy day and I want to just see what's going on that day, I'll use my daily to-do list. I use them all interchangeably all at once, believe it or not. I'm just obsessed with to-do lists. What can I say? When you order these, here's what comes in it. Each of these to-do lists will be wrapped and sealed in plastic. It's super thick plastic, which is really nice. It'll keep it protected in the mail. I also made a cute little thank you card that I'm throwing in each order. And then these will be sent to you guys in a bubble mailer. In the past, I used parcels, but I found that sometimes USPS was maybe a little rough with the packages. So I got bubble mailers for all of these, which essentially is a parcel with bubble wrapped around it. I switched over to bubble mailers halfway through my last collection, and I had no issues with it getting destroyed in the mail after I switched over. So these will be nice and protected when they're being sent to you guys in the mail, which I'm really happy about. The big question, how do you buy these? You guys can go to KeeganActon.com. Of course, I'll have all the information in the description. These launch July 18th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You guys can actually go to the website now and see them, but they won't be available to buy until, like I said, July 18th, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Put that in your calendar or on your to-do list. These do ship international. I will say international shipping is a little more pricey, obviously, because it is international. I don't set the shipping prices at all for domestic, for international. USPS sets those shipping prices, so I don't have any control over them. I would love to make, especially international shipping, cheaper, but that's just not in my control. If you're wanting to buy more than one of these, you guys can bundle them. I've had the bundles in the past, and you guys seem to really like that, so that makes me super happy to bring it back for you guys. You can bundle any two to-do lists. So let's say you want the weekly and you want the daily. You guys can bundle these together and save $1 on each, so essentially you're saving $2. If you're gonna buy both anyways, you might as well bundle to save $2. To bundle, all you have to do is go to the website, go to the main menu, and then there's a little bundle section, and then you can select your two to-do lists to bundle. You can make as many bundles as you want. They just have to be little groups of two. You can do a bundle of this, you can do a bundle of this, bundle of this. You can do as many bundles as you want. And the gradient collection was my last collection. I have the weekly extended, the weekly, and the daily to-do list. A few of them are still available, very limited quantities, but if you guys want to bundle any of those, you guys can bundle those with these as well. So if you want the pastel weekly extended, but you want the gradient daily to-do list, you can bundle those. Every paper physical to-do list that is available, you can bundle them together or you can buy them individually. Just letting you know though, with the gradient collection, there is a very limited amount left. I also sell digital to-do lists, so these will come out in digital versions. Once these either sell out or get close to selling out, I want to put my priority into the paper to-do list for the first month or so. And I want to let you guys know that limited quantities are available. Once these sell out, I am not restocking them. I've done that with every single to-do list and nobody ever believes me when they sell out. People are like, can you restock them? I'm not planning on restocking them, especially because this will be my last collection ever. Let me talk about that. Very sad to talk about that, but I've talked about in the past how once this collection is over, once it sells out or once it gets close to selling out, I want to start applying and getting a marketing job, a full-time job, and not just being a content creator full-time. And I don't think that I will have the time to do another collection while working full-time. It makes me so sad to say that, but I'm also really happy to leave it on a positive note with a collection that I'm really proud of and that I love so much. But once these to-do lists sell out and the gradient collection sells out, I'm not bringing them back ever. Sad. Very bittersweet. Mostly bitter. But I also just wanted to say thank you guys so much to you guys for giving me the opportunity to create these products. This has been a dream of mine for so long, and without you guys it wouldn't be possible. So I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I am so grateful for you guys because I would never have been able to do this. I would never have the courage to do this in the very first place. Years ago when I made my very first collection to make these, if it wasn't for you guys encouraging me and supporting me, and I just wanted to say thank you so much. I feel so much gratitude that I was able to come out with 3 collections collections, and I am so proud of each collection so much. I'm so sad to see this chapter ending, but I also know that when I look back on this chapter in my life and these to-do lists and these products that I've created, I will look back with so much pride and joy and happiness and just straight up love. I love you guys so much. I hope that you guys like this new collection and are excited for it. Make sure to mark your calendars, July 18th, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.